In this episode, I've had this thing for 12 months now, and I've actually had some of these mods on this car for 12 months. I want to give you a bit of a rig rundown. It's sort of in the first stage of where it needs to be, has suspension done and all that kind of stuff, but I want to sort of take you through all the mods that has been done to the car, because I didn't cover everything in a video, and I sort of want to do a bit of a blanket video, how those mods have been going, how they've been faring in the last 12 months, and would I recommend all that kind of stuff. So this video is going to take you through, so if you're I suppose got a next gen Ranger and you're thinking about modifying it, this is the video to watch because that's going to take you through everything that's been installed in this car, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it. Let's get into it. Like any rundown video, we're going to start off at the front, and I'll take you through all the little bits and bobs that have been done to it, and just sort of let you know what I sort of think of them. So we'll start off with the bonnet. Now the whole car's been wrapped in the Bush Wraps PPF protection coating. I can't recommend this enough. If you've got a new car, this is probably one of the best things you can do to any new vehicle that's on the market. They pretty much have kits for everybody. It has saved the car stone chips, scratches down the side from bushes. I mean, you can just get dirt and rub it down the side of the car and have no issues, right? Because you've got the PPF coating. So I'm literally rubbing like crap all over the side of the car, and I never have to worry about it because it's got the PPF coating. It's probably one of the, as I said, the best things you can do for your car if you want to keep it looking nice, neat. Keep that paint obviously in good condition. I went with the bonnet protector as well, so this obviously just stops your like your rock chips and all that kind of stuff flicking into your front of your bonnet and obviously taking off your paint. So you can get those bonnet kits on pretty much all their kits now. On the front here, we've got the Ranger Raptor grille with the built-in LED lights. I did a video on this last month, and you can have a look at that, how to wire up the grille. But I do like this. It gives a sort of bit of a presence on the road, and I do like the sort of Parker lights and that kind of thing. It's a little bit blingy, but it's just something I do like, and I think it sort of stands it out from the rest of the crowd a little bit, which is good. And on the bottom here, if you have never noticed, I do have the panel house fog surround. So with the Sport, they do come with a fog light, LED fog lights, and these are actually a little fog surround, which is a DRL that goes around your fog light. Again, just sort of change up the front end a little bit from your standard, Ford Ranger that goes down the street, which is pretty much like all your general traffic. So just try to make it stand out a little bit. And the last thing obviously underneath is the Pirate Camp Co. Bash plates, which have been fantastic. I've used them a couple of times and they've been really good. I got the touring kit, so they do a touring kit and a hardcore kit. So the touring kit's a little bit thinner, but for what I do with the car, absolutely great. So that's pretty much the front end. There's a few other things happening under the bonnet. There's like a Pirate Camco air compressor mount, and there's an ARB air compressor under there. But that's about it from underneath the bonnet. So there's not really a whole lot happening under there. I've kept it pretty factory, so I've had no reason to sort of change anything under there yet. So yeah, it's all pretty much factory under there except for the the Pirate Camco ARB air compressor kit. Also on the bonnet there, I've got a solar screen just to take out a little bit of sun as you're driving into the sun. Actually behind the grille, I almost forgot about it because it's hidden away so well. Behind the grille here, so I've got the Raptor LED light bar, which is a behind the grille mounting kit. So it's actually a certain kind of light bar that has this middle of the section. So like the light bar, there's a middle section taken out because there's a big beam that goes through the middle of this like the front of this car, and you need a section taken out of your light bar to make it fit, and they make the whole kit. All the links and that kind of stuff will be in the description if you want to have a look at it, but that's a really cool piece of kit. Really like lights up the night. I wouldn't need any other sort of extra lights on the front of the car, if you know what I mean, because these are LED headlights and all the rest of it on the Sport. So you get the Sport, you get the LED, and I think on the Raptor you get the LED laser or whatever they are. Most LED headlights now are pretty damn good in the like driving down the highway and that, and this is sort of just added to that and giving you a little bit more light, which is really, really good. But that's pretty much it for the front end. I can't really say much more about it. There is something happening to the front end real soon. I'm actually getting a bull bar put on, so I'm not going to give too much away, but there'll be a bull bar put on this probably by the next video actually. So, or the actual next video might be me installing the bull bar. So yeah, this factory bumper will go, and I'll have a full-blown bull bar on there. So look out for that. But let's take a look around the side of the car, and yeah, look at what I've done there. All right, side of the vehicle. So bush straps on the side. Now you can see here, it's really obviously done a good job. It goes whole length of the door, goes all the way back, including on the tub, and obviously your front quarter panels there. Really easy kit to install. So it only took me about 3 or 4 hours. So it wasn't too hard at all. But you just follow the instructions, and you have no dramas at all. But yeah, really highly recommend that. The bush wraps were definitely something for any new car. If you're going to take it off road and actually do these things that take it away from the whole mall crawler to actually using it in the bush, you really need something like this to protect your paint. Because believe it or not, the paint from Ford is actually really thin on these ranges, so it's not the greatest. So food for thought. On each obviously rim, I've got an 18-inch ROH Assault. It's a 25 plus offset, and it's a BF Goodrich all-terrain tyre. They are a 285/65 on an 18, pretty sure. I'll double check that and put it on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that's the size. The tyres have been good so far. I might do a separate sort of video later on down the track. They seem to be quite slippery in the wet, so I'll say that for now, but they've been really good so far. Great traction obviously off-road. I've been farting around in the sort of mud this afternoon down here today, and I haven't had any issues with traction, but they've been really good so far. A little bit of balancing, sort of the wheel balance on the front. I still get a little bit of wheel wobble about 100 k's an hour, which is a little bit annoying. But beyond that, they're really, really neat. They're really, really good. So yeah, it's actually my first BF set. So I've never actually had a set of BF Goodriches. So happy so far. I'll give you an update as they wear down. But pretty much from the side, so obviously I've got the roller Titan roof rack. It's the actual Mark III, so it's the new one. I ended up paying about $1,500 for this, I think, off the top of my head. Obviously the sides and that kind of thing. Installed it myself, but it's actually a really cool kit. Really easy to install. No real complaints about it. It seems to be holding up really well. The real complaint I had with the roller Titan roof rack from when I had the Trident, it ended up having some kind of weird coating on it. It would go really funny colors when you washed it. And this one seems to be a little bit better anodized. So you must have obviously fixed that from the Mark II or the Mark I that I had on the Trident. But yeah, it seems to be holding up really well. I actually, as I said, I actually installed it. It was quite easy. Yeah, there was no real issues on the install side of things. It took me about a day. You've got to take out the whole roof lining and that kind of thing. So it is a day process, but yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. And I've got a few accessories on there as well, which is just some sort of tie down points and that kind of thing. On the other side, I did used to have an awning. I had a 270 30-second awning, which was really good. There was no complaints about it. I recently just sold it purely because it doesn't actually fit in the car anymore. So I'm actually in the market for a new awning, and I've seen so many cool ones come out. So there's Bushwhacker that do one, which has sort of got these two arms which fold out, and they're on, they're essentially on like springs or struts or whatever, and they just sort of pop out, and it does like a pretty cool little side awning. And then you got like 180 awnings, which are freestanding now. And I used to have the Super Peg 180 awning, which was really good as well. And I actually got rid of that to upgrade to the 30-second awning. So I was like, yeah, I don't know which way to go yet. I'm sort of in between a 180 and a normal awning, or one of those Bushwhacker ones, or I think it was Campos, but those two companies are doing it. So yeah, anyway, I'm trying to work out which way I want to go. So I'll get there eventually, and there'll be an awning on the car eventually. But I did have a 270 on there, which is really good. Only problem was it was just way too long, which is a shame. But yeah, that's it pretty much from the side of the car. We'll jump in the back of the car and tell you what's going on in there. All right, so the back is pretty much where it all happens. It's actually probably where I've spent the most time modifying. In my last video, you would notice I had the Hurricane fabrication in tub drawer or storage. Absolute game changer for rear tub storage. It's really made the back of this car so much more versatile. I absolutely froth this product, and it's an Australian made product as well, which is really cool. We'll move our way up. Pantry and drawer is from Super Cheap and BCF. It's just a generic, I think this is a 900 drawer, so it's one of the smaller ones. It's designed to go into a wagon. It does have the little, chopping board and all that kind of stuff, which I've never actually used. But and the top slides out and all the rest of it. On top of there, I've just got a fridge drawer, which is from King's. That was just there to essentially cover myself for a like an overnight trip or something like that. The Mike Horman fridge was probably a little bit too big for the rear setup, so I've now put that into the camper trailer, and I'm using that as a secondary fridge in the camper trailer. So it's still getting used, but it's just not part of the rear setup anymore, mainly because it was just a bit too big. Because you can see in the back, my dog Pippa, she sort of goes on this side, and yeah, she needs a fair bit of space because she's a Marama and she's a big dog. So yeah, she needs a fair bit of space in there. So if you've had a keen eye, you'll probably see on this side of the car, I now have in this window a dog window. So this is a pretty cool little feature that we've added onto the car just recently. I took it up to Perth and saw the guys back at Max Liner, who are the guys who actually supplied the canopy originally. We now have a dog window so Pippa can put her head out there and get all the smells of the world. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little setup because it actually doesn't require anything to be changed. You literally just put that window into replacement of your current window, and you can have a dog window in your car, which is just on a slide. And yeah, it's a laser cutout of the glass and all the rest of it, so it's super neat. Really happy how they came out, and she's been absolutely frothing it. So the downside of a dog window is the slobber they leave all around the dog window, so you're constantly cleaning your car. But I'm not as fussy on this car as I used to be on the 62. The 62 I always made sure it was nice and clean. With this car, it's sort of relaxed a little bit. In the back of the car, I've got Pyrocamco. It's these sort of side partitions which go on the side of the tub and allows you to actually bolt stuff and hook stuff onto the side of the tub, which essentially is a bit of wasted space. There's a couple of pockets in there which I put a Wildtrak canvas cover in there, and I put my Interflate in there as well. And I've only got it on this side because this side's a bit fully covered by everything else. But I do have on this side the Pyrocamco 12 volt distribution kit, which goes in place where the factory 12 volt plug is on the back of these cars. So you can actually put Anderson plugs and all that kind of stuff in there as well. And there's a few switches on there. Going back to the Max Liner canopy, this has been on the car probably for the longest, and it's been absolutely fantastic. It's still completely sealed. The paint's still in really good condition. There's there's nothing sort of loosening up and wearing out and that kind of stuff. As I said, I just recently took it to the guys in Perth, and they said it was actually, they considering what I've actually put this car through so far, it's actually really holding up well, which is good. And it's one of the only canopies on the market you can buy with a fully rated roof. So this is rated to 150 kilos or 300 kilos of static weight. So 150 kilos if you're on the move, so you can put 150 kilos of rooftop tent on there and have no issues. And it's one of the reasons that I went with this canopy over many other canopies like ARBs and Ironmans, is actually having a proper roof rating is a big difference of, big point of difference of most canopies that are on the market. So normally I'd have the rooftop tent on here. I just don't leave it on there for when I'm driving around town. I don't see the point in that. It just makes your car higher, and 9 times out of 10 I can't fit in car parks and all the rest of it. So I take the rooftop tent when I'm just not camping and doing all the rest of it. But having the camping, having a rooftop tent up there, no issues with weight. It fits like a dream, and it's a perfect setup for this whole car. It's really made the sort of back end. It's nice and sleek. It doesn't sort of bulge out. It doesn't have that big bubble at the back of the car. It doesn't sort of look like that grandpa's car. It's sleek. It's neat. The windows all match up. I think it's sort of really looks good on the car. So really happy with that. And I've done a few other things in the back here as well. I've done like a false floor. I've just sort of bolted that through the tub. Just so everything's got a flat surface to sort of go on. So that was just sort of a weekend job that I did one day, and I sort of made this false floor. But pretty much in the back here, this is me now. I've pretty much got everything I need. As I said, I cook on here in the Hurricane Fabrication video. That's was last month's video. But I cook on here, and I do my my camping stuff on here. Fridge for obviously all my cool stuff, and BCF drawer for just storing stuff. And Pippa has heaps of space in here to do, what she does. A dog is pretty much run around the back of the car and bark at the air. So, yeah, that's pretty much the rear setup. On the top there, I've got some Tracklander roof racks, or some roof bars that I got from Reese from Southwest Mechanical and Off-Road. And I pretty much bolt my rooftop tent up to those. So I use the U-bolts, and they go around it and clamp onto that, and it's happy days. Yeah, the rear of this car is just so well set up now. I don't really have to worry about changing it at all. If I was actually going to change anything on this car, I would actually put a tray on here and put a canopy on it, like a 1650 canopy, and have the back end open. Yeah, that'd be probably the only thing I'd change. Is I wouldn't go any further than this, because I don't see anything being a benefit if I was to change anything. I would actually go to a full-blown tray and canopy. So yeah, it's definitely on the thought card. It's definitely something I'm thinking of, but for now, I'm really happy with the setup. And lastly, underneath the car, I've obviously already spoken about the bash plates, but the one thing I do want to speak on, and I've only had this on here for now, probably since April. So it's only a couple of months into the making, but the Pro Fender lift kit has been absolutely awesome. I've now got it dialed in really, really well. So day to day around town, I've actually dialed it up a little bit to give it a little bit more firmness on the road. And on the beach and that kind of stuff, I just chuck it on like a 0 and just let it soak up all the bumps. Sometimes I put the rear as a 2 and 0 at the front, but when I put the bull bar on the front, it's probably going to bring this down a little bit and give me a little bit more movement on the arms and that kind of thing, because at the moment it's quite high strung. So far, it's really, really good, very, very comfortable, and really, really happy with how the kit turned out. And that's pretty much all I've done on the suspension now. So eventually I'm going to put some UCAs on there, just sort of change them out. Eventually, it's nothing on the radar anytime soon. And I was actually going to do some hydraulic bump stops in the rear for the rear section, and that was about it. Talking to these a company called Goat Off-Road, and they do a whole bunch of cool suspension stuff for the Raptor and the PX3s and all that kind of thing. And we were talking about a few next gen things that they're sort of working on, that I was sort of getting, you know, pretty like keen on to have a look at. And they're doing some pretty cool things that I'm sort of tempted to get into, which is like long arm, long arm suspension at the front and that kind of stuff. So it's a fair while down the track, but I'm definitely sort of looking at doing a few things on the front just to sort of change it up a bit and give it a bit more movement. But for now, it's been fantastic for what I'm doing with the car, driving down the beach and going down on pretty normal tracks and that kind of thing. It's been fantastic. So I probably just wish I had a little bit more movement, but I think it's because obviously the front is rated, the spring weight is actually rated for a car with a bull bar. So obviously once I put the bull bar on there, it's going to go down a little bit, which is going to settle the suspension a little bit, and that'll give me a little bit more movement as I go around. So yeah, it's just going to be a little bit more compliant and soft on the front, which would be nice. But that's all I can say about the suspension. As it's a full remote resi kit, adjustable dampers and all the rest of it. But stoked. It's settled in now. It hasn't sagged at all. It's been fantastic. The rear's settled in really, really nicely. Yeah, I've still got about a 70mm lift, which is great. It's just been really, really good, guys. I'm really, really happy with it. So hopefully that answered all your questions about the car. I tried to get everything in there. If I forgot something, just drop a comment down below and I'll answer it as soon as I can. I feel like I got everything, but if I didn't, we can obviously get to it in the comments. As I said, it's covered everything in one video, which makes it nice and easy. That way I'm not just doing a drop of video each month with different mods. Every single mod that I've done to the car is covered in one big hit. If you're this person up here, you've just won yourself a $200 gift card. Congratulations. Hit me up at 4x4campingadventures@gmail.com. And we'll get in touch and get the gift card sent out to you. Now, there's already been a code word that's popped up on the screen in this video. Hopefully you're paying attention. Use that code word in a comment and you'll be entered in the draw to win a $200 gift card. For this video, it is that easy. 12 months of giveaways, $200 per video. And we have given out $1,200 of prizes so far, fully funded by me, to give back to you guys, subscribers, loyal viewers, and new viewers as well. It's all about the year of giving for 2024. So, as I said, hopefully that covers everything on the Ranger. Jump on the giveaway, be part of that, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great Sunday, be safe, and see you all later. Bye.